That's awful. Aww. That was sad. I mean, but I really feel like, you know, I guess I was kind of expecting that she wasn't real, so. Okay. What do I think of this one? It was okay. Definitely not as good as the other ones. I didn't get that same. Okay, so y'all that have played the originals, like Fizzy, I know you played them, right? Okay, they just had those moments that just hit you everywhere, like when Six drops Mono, and you're just like, what the hell? You're like, no! Like, they just hit you so hard, right? And Secret of the Maw. And even just the part where Six eats the gnome, even before you know what that's about, is still kind of like just hits you pretty hard. And it's like the way they did Secret of the Maw when you walk in that room and you know exactly what's about to happen. Just freaking hit you so hard. I didn't get anything like that in this game, you know? But I didn't really expect it either, to be honest. So it's good with like, I guess, jump scares and, puzzles were definitely a lot easier than the other games. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I went through this game really fast. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was a bad game. I think it was a good game. I just don't think it was as good as the other ones. But, I don't know. So I looked on Steam because I was curious what other people were saying, and so far it has mixed reviews. A lot of people I don't think really like it. If you check out the Steam reviews, you'll probably see that people didn't really care for this one. I don't know if it's the glitchiness. So I had a lot of glitchy, as you saw. It could be because I'm streaming. Could be because I had the special costumes that come with the deluxe edition. Not sure. Could be, you know, because it didn't really seem to change when I set my graphics lower. So I don't know why I had a glitchy game. I know I did talk to other people that also had a lot of glitches and bugs and things like that. So don't know. It did just come out 3 days ago. But I mean, it's about what I expected it to be. I did not expect it to be, I didn't expect it to be like the other ones. I don't know if anybody else did, but yeah, I guess we could go through this. I mean, I love when Andrew Cattell is part of the IT and facilities, because whenever Andrew Cattell does that, it's always the best, you know? And Roddy over here with the MIS, it's just fire every time. I'm so glad Nicola was in HR. It was amazing. I really liked the Carnival chapter. I thought that was amazing. It reminded me of other Supermassive games like The Devil in Me. I don't know if you've ever played that. And gave kind of a FNAF sort of, like Secret of the Mimic a little bit. So it was kind of scary and unsettling. I really liked that chapter a lot. I think if they kind of maybe did more different, like if they were a little more different with some of the chapters instead of trying so hard, it felt like, to do things from the first game. I felt like overall it would have been a stronger game. But I did really like that chapter. I think that chapter was really good. Anybody having a baby, you could just watch these credits. You get some really good baby names. Ooh, Anastasia with 2 eyes? I've literally never seen that. That's cool. I wonder how you pronounce that. Is it still Anastasia or is it Anastasia? Like, do you have to kind of add that extra I when you say it somehow? Alright, here we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's where he ended up. Put that down. You're gonna cut yourself, buddy. Come on. Oh, that's so sad. He's trying to put it back together to get his friend back. You're gonna cut your feet, bro. What are you doing? Alright then. Shit. Yeah, I don't think this is anything. I think this is just the regular game. You probably have to wait for that. But, I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet, so I don't know. I'm gonna check it now. Let y'all know. And it's good to know, I guess, what you get with the deluxe edition if you're not sure. Because I wasn't sure. I was like, do I want to just get the regular game? Do I want to get the expansion or the deluxe edition? Like, what's the difference? I saw the costumes in the expansion pack and, or, you know, the expansion pass. And, like, usually I'll get those because it's nice to just be able to get whatever DLCs come out. Like, you just get them. So, depends on the game. But with this one, I assumed I would want that. Yeah. So, okay. So right now it's just the game. I'm sure that'll come out later. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was alright. Let's read some of these reviews. Let's check out some of these reviews and see. Let's check them out. I'm curious. Because I was reading a little bit, but I didn't want to read too much because I really didn't want to. I didn't really want to spoil it for myself. Alright, why am I not seeing my display capture? Hold on. Ooh, come on, you. Show. Okay. So let's check out some of these reviews here. Let me fix my screen here so you see the whole thing and we'll read some. Just for fun. Let's see what people think of it. Apply, sure, whatever. Alright. Okay, so do people like Little Nightmares 3? See all the hate. Because I saw mixed so far, so. Okay. And if it's worth it, I think it's worth it, especially if you're a Little Nightmares fan. Okay, so here we go. So our first one is not recommended with a big thumbs down. I'm so beyond heartbroken with this game. I've never left a Steam review, but I had to for this game. This is Poach. I have waited like 5 years for this to release, only to be kicked in the face repeatedly. Story's bad. I agree. It doesn't have a good story. But to be honest, I didn't expect one. I'm just putting that out there. I did not expect the same. Okay. It was extremely buggy at points. Yes. Characters getting stuck or losing items. Yes. Same. Not recommended by Cat Cup. Game is lazy, soulless, reused assets, obviously recycled ideas. I have to kind of agree with that, actually. Wow. Okay, we have a recommended. To make a third game of a series, you need to understand what made the first two great. My biggest issue with the game is simply that the developers failed to understand why the last two locations were chosen for their games. Agreed. Agreed. And I think that was kind of my issue with it as well. I feel like they didn't. That's difficult. If you were to compare it to the other two, I would rank it really low. But if you just give it as a game, period, like fun to play or whatever, I'd say maybe, you know, mid. But compared to the other two, yeah, it's definitely not there at all. But I didn't have high expectations for it, to be honest. I didn't think that this was going to be like the others at all. I just didn't have that feeling. Because I like super massive games. I've played them. I think they're great. I just don't think they really excel at like narrative. You know, they're more jump scare, horror, slasher kind of games, which are still really fun. But if you're looking for like the deep story and the things that made the other games great, I just didn't think they would be able to do that. And so I am not as let down as maybe other people were that were expecting something much better. I was not expecting it. So I'm saying it was an alright game. It was fun. I think it's worth playing. Um, yeah, I think this is a good review. I think this is fair right here. So this person here, right? Casa Shark. I see a lot of people hating on this game, so I feel like I should drop my opinion as a big fan of the Little Nightmares series. Is the game good? Yes. Is it worth the €40? No. Personally, wait for a sale. I agree with that too. A sale. Probably wait for a sale. It should cost about the same as Little Nightmares 2. Overall, the game was nice. Graphics were amazing. Me and my friend had fun playing. That's another thing that makes this fun, the co-op. Okay, I did play the demo with my friend. I had a lot of fun with that, so I enjoyed the co-op. Animations were cool. Definitely not as bad as some people are saying. Is it different? Yes, but different doesn't immediately mean bad. I agree. It's made by a different studio, so the game not being exactly the same as the other ones was to be expected. I totally agree. I think this person said it very, very well. Buy the game. Don't let the negative people here stop you. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been known for years that the original developers were not going to be doing this anymore. They've moved on. They're doing something else. To have expected this to be as good as the others, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment because it's not going to be. However, if you want that vibe, they are making a game that is very similar looking, and I really expect this to be maybe what those people want. No release date. And Fizzy, not sure. You've probably seen this one, right? Reanimal. This is the developers are making this game. Coming soon. You could see gameplays, but if you check this out, this is probably what they want, most likely, if they're looking for story and stuff, right? I'm gonna watch this again because I can't wait for this. I am so excited. Look at this. Ooh. It does, right? Alright, so soon. Okay. We'll see that soon. So that's my thing. Okay, look. That's what they want. So if they want the story and the vibe, that's the game that's going to answer that. But it's still fun to play, you know, Little Nightmares puzzles and things like that. So I think they kind of nailed that a little bit, even though it did feel like recycled puzzles and just variations of puzzles they already had. I'm not going to hate on that because it was still entertaining. It was still fun. It didn't hit me as hard as the other games, but this game is probably going to give you that whenever it comes out, hopefully soon. I'm on their Discord because I follow it just to see if there's ever going to be a release date because I really want to play this one so bad. I I personally I like story. I like when a game can really be emotional or hit hard. But some people don't even like that. So if you're not even into that, like if you play Little Nightmares and you just enjoy the puzzles and the jump scares and things like that, then you'll probably think Little Nightmares 3 was like amazing, you know, because maybe you weren't into that other stuff. So for me, it was what I expected it to be. So maybe that's why I'm not being so harsh. I think that it was pretty good. It was decent. But I did think the story wasn't there. It just wasn't. Like one thing I always liked about Little Nightmares 1 and 2 is even though it's like nightmares and kids, like I felt like there was something really going on the whole time. Like, oh, what are they doing with these kids? Like, what is this place? What's really going on? And I didn't feel that way here. I was like, oh, it's just some kid in his imagination, like running through things. And yeah, like even though that's probably what's going on, it just, I liked it better when it felt more real, I guess, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, the chapter 3 was amazing. It felt totally different than the other games, even though there were parts that were similar, like with the adults eating and being disgusting and all that stuff. That was kind of similar, but like overall, the carnival with the the guy with his like ventriloquist thing. That was a lot different than the other games, so I kind of liked that. I was like, that was really good. And I feel like maybe if they had done that a little more, it would have been a better game. Maybe they should try to separate it more than they did. I don't think it deserves all this hate that it's getting. I don't think it was terrible. I wouldn't say it's not worth it. Yeah, probably wait for a sale. I mean, 40 bucks is probably too much. And I'm a little upset about the deluxe edition because I feel like that's why my game was glitchy because of the costumes. Because when I took the costumes off, it was running smoother. I feel like if I paid extra for the costumes, like it should not be. But I do have the expansion pass, so anytime there's a DLC, I can play it. Maybe the DLCs will be really good. Maybe this is just a different story altogether, and we just haven't gotten the whole story yet, so maybe it will be better than we think. It's hard to say. So far, I would say mid. I mean, it's not the best game I've ever played, but I don't think it sucked. So, these people are super pissed. I get it. But, I don't think it was that bad, I guess. So, yeah, we'll see. Just can't wait for Reanimal. That's going to be freaking off the hook. I know it. I'm like so looking forward to that. But yeah, the AI, if I have one complaint, my major complaint about this game is how shitty the AI is. Absolutely awful. Awful. That was the most frustrating thing I've experienced. And I never had that in the other games. So I don't remember the other games being that glitchy or buggy. So that's another point too. This was pretty glitchy and buggy. But I think what happened, and I thought that they would probably try to put Reanimal and Little Nightmares 3 out at the same time. I just had that feeling. I was like, they're both going to come out for Halloween watch, right? But obviously Reanimal's not, but I knew this one at least would rush for a Halloween release, and I think maybe they weren't ready for a Halloween release, but well, I don't know. Apparently other people are talking about bugs, so anyways, yeah, so that's that.